There is no denying that over the last several years, there has been a war on women's sports, an attack on women's sports. And you would think that the very networks who have been pushing women's sports on their viewers, whether they want it or not, for decades, would be at the forefront of that outrage. When you have men coming in and dominating female athletics, when you have biological men, dudes, going into locker rooms with women, when you have dudes stripping national championships away from actual women. But places like ESPN, they were more than happy to promote a disgusting human being like Leah Thomas, while Leah Thomas was taking away national championships and records from actual female swimmers. And that's consistently what we've seen the last several years, whether it's in the Olympics with someone like Amain Khalif, whether it's with a Leah Thomas. And now President Donald Trump has just signed into action an executive order to protect women's sports. And this is how ESPN predictably reacts. President Donald Trump will sign an executive order on Wednesday designed to prevent people who were biologically assigned male at birth from participating in women's or girls' sporting events. Yeah, they're called men. Biologically assigned male at birth, yes. President Donald Trump, after the last several years, we've seen all this insanity going on, these transgender athletes coming in and dominating and sometimes hurting women. That's no shit. That's what's been happening in some cases. And Trump signed an executive order yesterday to hopefully put a stop to some of this insanity. And ESPN just couldn't help but fucking virtue signal. President Donald Trump signs executive order to protect women's sports. On Wednesday, Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at protecting women's sports from the incursion of transgender athletes. With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over, Trump said, as it should have been long ago. And, he was surrounded by young female athletes of a variety of different ages who, guess what? They should be allowed to compete in women's sports against other women. They shouldn't be forced to have these freaks coming in there. But that is what has happened over the last several years, even at the top of the athletic stratosphere, in the fucking Olympics of all places. You have dudes competing against women. It's sad. It's pathetic. Now, this is going to do things like essentially no federal funding for schools that don't comply with the new Title IX requirements, which will be to have female sports be female. No transgender athletes allowed. Listen, if you're a transgender athlete, if you're a dude and you feel like you want to be a woman, whatever's going on in your fucking head, you can still play sports. You just have to play against the men. You're not going to come in and play women's sports because you don't qualify. And it does look like there's also going to be restrictions on visas for people that come, like, say, for the Olympics or international competitions for dudes who come in to try to compete against women. It's not going to happen. And you would think that the mainstream media, the people that have been pushing women's sports for years and years and years, they should be all behind this, but they're not, because of where it's coming from. And I did want to point out, Clay Travis said this too. I want to give credit to two women's swimmers, Riley Gaines and Paula Scanlon. Without them speaking out on men and women's sports, today doesn't happen. They've been ripped mercilessly, attacked, doxxed, but they haven't backed down at all. They've been fearless and right. Bravo. And it's true. Riley Gaines and Paula Scanlon, both people, one competed against Leah Thomas, one was on Leah Thomas's team, right? They have been very vocal about this, despite the ridiculous, disgusting attacks against them. And without them speaking out, without some of the women that were involved in this thing, the women who had to endure this nonsensical bullshit, right, it wouldn't have got the attention that it got, and this doesn't happen. So there you have it. Donald Trump, of all people, despite all the woke lunatics out there that are screaming he's going to take away women's rights, he's protecting women's sports. That's what happened yesterday. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.